Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. The Ukrainians report that the Russians report a Ukrainian drone attack on Sevastopol. Strange. But hey, we got what we got here. The Ukrainians are saying that 11 drones try to attack Sevastopol. So, interesting choice of words. They tried or they succeeded, or what's going on? I hope that Russians are not picking up the Ukrainian way of destroying everything that comes at them. So, Ukrainska Pravda. Today, Thursday, 10th of August 2023, 11 drones try to attack Sevastopol at night. So, Sevastopol, right here in the bottom, in the Crimean Peninsula and the Black Sea. So right here. The Russian Defense Ministry has reported that 11 drones tried to attack the city of Sevastopol, Crimea on the night of 9 to 10 August. It is claimed that 2 of them were shot down and 9 more were downed by electronic warfare system. So these guys reached the 100% perfection here, like the Ukrainians now. I explained that many times what that meant. 2 UAVs were hit by air defense systems near the city of Sevastopol, and the 9 more were downed by electronic warfare systems. They crashed in the waters of the Black Sea, failing to reach the target. The Russian ministry also confirmed information from Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin about the claimed downing of 2 drones that were flying towards Moscow at night. 2 UAVs, and I'm quoting, flying towards the city of Moscow were destroyed by an air defense system in the sky over Maloyaroslavets. Malo, that's small, I know that one. Maloyaroslavets district, Kaluga Oblast, and over the territory of Odintsovo district, Moscow Oblast, Sobyanin said. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed that there were no casualties or damage as a result of the drone attack. Background: explosions rang out in the Russian city of Domodedovo, Moscow Oblast on the night of 9th to 10th August, followed by a large-scale fire. So 11, right? 11 plus 2, all right, so 13 drones, they all were shot down. So the Ukrainians achieved this fantastic 100% success not a long time ago. Now the Russians, it seems like they copied the same blah, blah, blah. Not impossible, but not probable. But hey, if they say so, it must be that. That reminds me of a story that I often say here. When I used to live in the communist times in Romania, the communists were lying of how productive the communist system was. Therefore, every year they had to report on a TV or to Ceausescu, the dictator, the achievements of the economy. And I remember when, we were listening, watching, whatever, the TV was on, and the Romanians were claiming that the government, the agriculture department, was claiming that the United States, Romanian production there last year was this and this and this amount of this, they would produce this amount of this. And my father was looking and saying, these guys soon will surpass the United States, or already surpasses the United States' grain production and agriculture production. He said, these guys are lying and lying and lying. So how did they get to that point? It's because they had to lie successes every year. So every year the communists had to say, the next year, we did better than last year. Next year, we were better than last year. They couldn't say, we did the same production. That was a failure. So they always had to show success by every year going with this and upping things. Let's say the production was here and they got here. All right. So at one point it was kind of people who knew something about, numbers, volumes, other countries' production, and so on. So the same here. These guys had to lie. They started with, remember, they destroyed 20% of the missiles or the drones. Then they got to 35, then they got to 50, then they got to this, and now they got to 100%. Now what? They're going to hit 130% of the 100%. They're going to hit, let's say, the Ukrainians or the Russians are going to send 100 drones, all right, launch 100 drones and missiles to Ukraine, and the Ukrainians will report they downed 157, and vice versa. Yeah, they're at that point. It's ridiculous because remember, from here, every time you drop, that's a big failure. Why? Because you use you got the people used with this stupidity that you got the maximum. When you stay at the maximum, yeah, it becomes, like with everything else. You get used with the taste, you want something else. So the same here, get used to 100%, you want 110%, then you want 120%, even though that's impossible unless you hit the same target 2 times, sometimes. And they will come with something. I'm not worried about that. So it seems like more drones attack than the aviation fighter jets or bombers attack. Okay, we know that this war showed that the war evolved, changed into how it's fought, and that's why sometimes you hear, or I hear, that there are some NATO countries military trainers training the Ukrainians in war, and I'm thinking, what do they know more than the Ukrainians? Let's say the Belgians or the Latvians, or Poles. What do they know more about a war than Ukrainians? What information they have? How many wars they fight lately? More than these guys. And these guys did not look over, they didn't learn anything. It's just the same with the drones being new on both sides. You just adapt while running the war. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.